I want to start off by dedicating this year of service to my father. He was a CPA, and he believed very strongly in professional organizations. He was a president of the local chapter of the Coal Society of CPAs. He also was a member of the state society of CPAs. So I'm sure you're proud right now. Okay. I grew up in Gentilly Woods in the 9th Ward, so if I start talking real fast, you'll understand why. The reason I put this slide up is because it shows why I became a veterinarian. This is, back up. That's me. That's my sister Gina, my sister Donna, and some other neighborhood kids that came in for a sleepover. But if you look, that black blob there is my sister's holding is Golly, the cat. When I was about 12, I slammed Golly's head in the refrigerator door. And for you younger people, in the early 60s, refrigerator doors were like car doors, they were very heavy. So quite a bit of head trauma. I wasn't a happy camper, the cat wasn't happy. And so at that point, I felt pretty helpless and I decided that might be a good profession to go in. That's something that could help animals. The happy ending is Golly went on, after about 2 weeks of recovery, to lead a normal life, so that wasn't a bad thing. So I then, at 14, started working at Mary's Animal Hospital. This is the place where I really truly fell in love with veterinary medicine. This is a picture of the old building. As you may know, this building has been destroyed, and that's kind of probably right before it got destroyed when they built the new building. But this is how I remember, because this is how I worked there for so many years. And of course, it goes to say that most of my mentors were there. So I'm going to quickly hit on them. We don't have a lot of time. Dr. Henry Milius, what I want to say about him is he was a working machine. I learned quite a bit from him, and let's just say he taught me how to get the job done. Tom Milius, I don't see many faces here that maybe worked at Mary's Animal, but there may be some, but everybody knows Dr. Tom Milius, and he must just say he's a vocal guy. One thing I learned about him, but he was a real animal lover, and I really appreciated that. Dr. Martin, John Martin actually started as a veterinarian, and I was already there as a handler. So what I learned from him is to innovate. He taught me how to keep on top of everything, stay with the latest technologies. And Dr. Pell. Now, a lot of you may say, wait, Dr. Pell at Causeway. But actually, Dr. Pell worked at Mary, and Dr. Pell is joining us here. So if you would stand, please. Let's say hello to Dr. Pell. I'm going to go off script here a moment, Dr. Pell. We have probably talked about this in like 40 years. I don't know if you remember. He gave me some psychological advice. My first real girlfriend broke up with me. And Sunday evening, he came back for treatments, and I was pretty upset. And my wife's shaking her head. So, I don't know if you remember this. We had talked about it. So, he gave me the lecture. You'll be fine. There's other fish in the sea and all that. It really did help. So, thank you for that psychological evaluation. I remember that. And see, he's smiling now. He's smiling in the picture. Always smiling, happy-go-lucky. He kind of gave me the impression you could have a good time while you're doing your job. Great fits that matter. And so, thank you for joining us today and being there for me. Dr. Zeller. This is what Dr. Zeller wears to work every day. Now, Dr. Zeller was out at Mary's Animal. I worked for him one summer. And again, kind of like Dr. Pell, he likes to have a good time with himself up there. So, that was, of course, a Mardi Gras costume. Okay. So, I went to high school at Del Sal. There are several veterinarians that went to my high school. I saw all of them, none of them are here, I don't believe. So, not happy. But anyway, during this period is when I joined my first rock band. And it was a garage band. Started playing bass guitar. I practiced real hard. Got pretty good. And through a lot of unbelievable circumstances, I got to play at Woodstock with Santana. Next time you hear Soul Sacrifice, you hear the bass solo at the beginning, I want you to think of me. A lot of unbelievable breaks. This is unbelievable. So I got to sit in with the Beatles on one of their sessions. So, of course, you see, Paul was out of town, so And Billy Preston is known as the fifth Beatle. So probably most of the older people or music lovers know that. What you may not know was I was known as the sixth Beatle. If you look right there, what's this here? So, I hit the concert scene with George and Billy Preston, but something about veterinary medicine kept calling back to me. So, I had a spiritual retreat with the Dalai Lama. Convinced me that I should go back to veterinary medicine. So I went back to LSU, I got a degree, a bachelor's in dairy science, and then I got into vet school. And Chip and some tigers out there, some of our classmates remember, I was cutting up in class one day and Dr. Lee decided to electrocute me into submission. So that's what happened. We were in Autumn Hall, and our first 2 years, our class was, and so we were in the quadrangle at LSU. Then as third-year students, we went to the new building, and of course they had a security badge, and that was mine. And of course I talked to a student the other day, and she reminded me, you old guys keep calling it the new building. That building's over 30 years old. But to us, it'll always be the new building. So we enjoyed going to the new building. Okay, so graduated, got married, and went to Peyroux Hospital to work as a veterinarian for 2 years, and then decided it's time to move to the country. So we opened up a clinic in Hammond, and for the next 20 years or so, I worked on building my practice, also worked on raising a family. And family lives, of course, the hairdos are a little different. We won't go into that anymore. So, one thing I want to mention during this time that happened was I did sneak off to Washington, D.C., and you'll appreciate this frame. Went off to Washington, D.C., and I actually had a clandestine meeting with Al Gore. This is where we actually invented the internet. Sorry, it's top secret. I cannot give you any more information about that. So, it was at the year 2004, I got to merge my two passions, veterinary medicine and music. And I joined the veterinary band Projectile, and we played at many conferences. This was made up of veterinarians and veterinary professionals, and they're from all over the country, and we got to play many veterinary meetings. Again, classmates may notice. That's Don Harris, so our classmates recognize Don. He did the vocals and the guitar. All right, and so this is sponsored by Bayer and NBC, and it was very exciting. We kept looking up, seeing ourselves on the big screen. That was pretty exciting. So the band did play NABC twice. We started off at the Atlantic Coast Conference in Atlantic City. We played Western Conference twice. We played CDC in Baltimore and also in Kansas City. We also played LVMA convention when it was in Minneapolis. So had a great time. We opened for Chicago twice, we opened for Cement Black twice, and we opened for REO Speedwagon. So, had a lot of time. Of course, I'm Dean. You see I'm wearing the LSU vet shirt there, and so representing LSU. And there I am again at another one. Peyroux was our sponsor. We have not had any gigs since 2009. Bayer kind of full sponsorship. I am hoping for a reunion tour. We may be behind the music. Isn't that a VH1 show? So we're hoping one day we will have a tour. You like that shirt? Yeah, all right. Okay, this is my last band picture. This is Freddie Metzger. Fred was our drummer. He's a veterinarian from State College. He speaks for IDEX nationally. One of his claim to fame is he's the one that invented that age chart that's in your practice. If you go back, especially if you got it from IDEX, it compares the ages of dogs to people. His name is at the bottom of it. Some people nodding, so I guess they know. This is the drummer for REO Speedwagon, and this is me with my, that's my soul patch after Katrina, my post-Katrina soul patch. So I went with the hips, so we're done. All right, so now that I've sold my practice, about 2 years ago, a lot of people were asking me, what are you doing with all your free time? And so I am still working part-time, but my answer is true. I have a to-do list that's been building up for 25 years. First, Patty, my wife, wanted the chicken coop, so I got a chicken coop. They now have fresh eggs. Did a patio, did a bunch of things, so I'm staying pretty busy. So, as far as gigging musically, I still gig weekly. It's just slowed down a little bit. It's at church. Every Sunday, it's a praise band in Ponchatoula. It's pretty interesting because we have drums, and that's unusual for a Catholic church. So it's for the teen mass, so that's pretty unique. In closing, I would like to say that I am very honored to be your president, and I want to state without a doubt that I'm going to work for the LVMA as hard as I did to grow my practice.